so welcome in. We got a hot topic. We're talking about young Jeezy and Gucci Mane, talking about the actual Verzuz and what actually happened in the Verzuz. There were some things going on from a standpoint of what Gucci Mane said about Jeezy outfit, and then what Jeezy had to combat the outfit and actually what he owned in real estate. So obviously real estate is my topic, so I wanted to bring you guys right now while it's fresh off the press and get you this information as far as why Google is saying Jeezy is only worth 10 million and Gucci Mane is worth more. A lot of people are looking at it and saying, hey, according to Google, Jeezy don't own anything. If he owned half Atlanta, he would probably have a little bit higher net worth. But I want to jump into asset protection and exactly how you do it as a real estate investor that allows us to control everything but own nothing. Let's go right into it. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I absolutely respect Jeezy and what he got going on. He's investing his money in real estate. Obviously, that's what changed my life. You hear Oprah talking about it, changed her life when she got into real estate. Tyler Perry, billionaire, right? When he bought that Atlanta studio, his net worth went up tremendously, right? I'm not saying he didn't make money in acting, because he did, but obviously the net worth goes crazy with millionaires. So to a billionaire status. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. You obviously already seen the Gucci Mane, what he said. Now the rebuttal as far as Jeezy, what he said. And let's jump right into it as far as why it makes sense that on Google, Jeezy is only worth 10 million and Gucci Mane is worth 12. So whenever we talk about real estate, it's an asset, right? So I flip houses, flip a lot of them. We flip a couple of houses a year. We ended up doing some new build construction. But one thing that I did, I went to the bank and we started talking about new construction loans, and the bank said, okay, what properties do you own? I told him what properties I own, and he said, well, I just searched your name in the CAD and it says you don't own anything, right? That's exactly what he said. He said, I only got one property here and it looks like it already got an existing house. I was like, yeah, that's the only one in my traditional name. You're not gonna find anything else in my traditional name. That's the only one, right? So with these new builds, we don't put them actually in our name. We got entities, they hide behind the LLC. So let's just say, for instance, Jeezy owns this property, so the owner is Jeezy. Right, the owner owns this property is Jeezy. He owns this property. But according to the county, 123 Main Street, because this is 123 Main Street, we're just gonna say that's the address. 123 Main Street actually owns that particular property, right? So Jeezy may say he owns this property, but according to the county CAD, 123 Main Street owns this particular property. Now, what does this mean? This means Jeezy actually don't own it, he controls it. How did he control it? Because Jeezy is a member of 123 Main Street, right? He's a CEO, he's a member. You can put CEO. I don't think you can be a CEO on an LLC, but I know you can be a managing member. So Jeezy may be a managing member under 123 Main Street LLC, right? Meaning he has control over it. Meaning if 123 Main Street sells his property, Jeezy has to go in there and sign a signature, right? So that can be misleading as far as why he don't particularly own the particular property. So we do this with all kind of real estate, not with just this. You can do it in S-Corps. You can do it in S-Corps as well, where you own something, you don't do anything. I can tell you, for example, right? If I own this particular property and it was a new built home and we sold the property and I netted a profit, what's going to end up happening is Jordan don't net a profit, right? I don't net a profit. Who nets a profit is 123 Main LLC. And that's the exact same thing. They're gonna cut a check to 123 Main LLC. So what I can do is go deposit that into my business bank account, right? I can go deposit that into my business bank account. And as soon as I sell that particular property, guess what happens to this LLC? We get rid of it, because now that's a liability, right? So unless we got multiple homes in that particular LLC, we keep it. But say, for instance, just one particular property and we know we're going in and getting out doing like a flip scenario, right? We dissolve that LLC so we can no longer get sued. Nothing can happen to us, right? And I've obviously got this from Tax Advisor. I'm not a tax advisor. I just got these steps from it. So definitely make sure you consult with the right people. But essentially, we'll get rid of that LLC, dissolve it. That LLC goes away, and it seems like that LLC is out of business. Do that mean that LLC does not have any money? No, it do not mean that at all. We just got rid of the name. Obviously, the money is sitting over here in the bank account, right? And depending on what we want to do, if we close it, we can close that bank account. We can disperse these funds multiple ways, right? Taxes, self, and business. I would even put profit on there. All right, you read a good book called Profit First. It makes sense to even put profit in there. That way you know you profit in this particular business. But see, taxes, self, business, profits, and some people even get smart. Instead of paying taxes, what do? They invest their money into another property. Right, you invest that money into another property. And if you invest in another property, what do? You have depreciation, you have an asset, and you can depreciate that. You can depreciate that particular property and actually limit your tax liabilities. That's why it's so important to actually be a LLC owner or some kind of business. Because if you're a regular employee, taxes got paid before you even got your paycheck. Right? When you're a business owner, a boss, an LLC, when you're a managing member of this particular LLC, you control who all gets paid first. You control whether you put some money in the profit, whether you put some money back in the business for business expenses, where you pay yourself. You control the property taxes, right? Or you can control the opportunity to invest the money into other properties. So it's definitely what I wanted to talk about, because obviously Jeezy is doing the right thing and nobody even knows, right? With this in real estate, people can assume that you're losing because what you're driving, what you're doing, the jewelry that you have on, you can just assume that, hey, Jeezy's not making any money because he haven't dropped a rap song lately, and his net worth, he haven't signed a record deal, or he don't own his masters, all this type of stuff. You can say anything you want to say. And Jeezy, I don't know if he owns the masters or not. I just said that. But anyways, regardless, he can be making $2 million, $3 million. And I know them guys are taking advantage of the opportunity zones that's there in Atlanta right now because it's a tax benefit. So the way he makes his money now can be completely tax-free, just like Trump, right? Trump's not paying anything in taxes. Jeezy could be doing the exact same thing, just reinvesting his money, making a check. Not saying he's not making any money, but just reinvesting his money, giving Uncle Sam something on the personal side. He could be paying himself $10,000 a month, which is still a $120,000 lifestyle. He already got plenty of money. That's more than enough to just pay his daily bills, I'm sure of. But with that being said, that's exactly what happened right here. So obviously I'm gonna be breaking down some more, but I just want to talk to you about why Jeezy net worth is not necessarily reflected when you're talking about owning real estate and being backed behind assets, right? This is totally different. When your LLC owns something, you don't have to be in your name, and therefore it won't reflect your net worth. But in this particular situation, you control everything and you own nothing. So the best thing about this, if anybody was to come sue Young Jeezy, right? They can sue me, right? If they sue me, that's perfectly fine. If they sue him, that's perfectly fine, because the only thing they're going to get is what's under his name, right? If this house is under his name, they can get this house. But since it's in the LLC, they can't do anything about it. So that's what I love about real estate. You can't touch me, right? And Lord forbid if you put this thing in a trust. That goes even deeper, and that's something I'll talk about later on. But obviously, trust, S corps, LLCs, all great things to have. Asset protection, it can propel you to the next level for sure. But I just wanted to break that down for you guys. If you like this information, definitely make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna be breaking it down even further, talking about these particular topics in real estate, and talking about how you can hide behind an LLC, an S corp trust, still get paid, make your money, but now nobody can come after you for your assets. So with that being said, like this video. My name is Jordan. If you're new here, we talk about all things real estate, credit, personal finance, anything that can put money in your pocket. We want to talk about it. So with that being said, hey, keep winning.